In today's episode, we're going to be giving you a flood update in Thailand. We're going to be talking about a magic pill for COVID-19, as well as looking at how Thailand is open to everyone except for the Brits. Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay and joining me once again is Tim Newton.
Very nice to be here. Thank you. I'm surprised I'm here.
It is a very rainy, gloomy day. And
Well,
you decided...
It's clearing up.
Yeah, and you decided to drive here on a motorbike.
I thought it was a good idea. Well, we need the car at the house today because one of our little cats has now got to that age where she needs attention to her lady bits.
I see.
And so we needed the car to transport her to the VET. We can't say the word veterinarian because they know what that means. And
okay.
Chow, off they go. So I came to work here's a picture of me in my blue raincoat, my 20 baht 7-Eleven raincoat. I was saturated. I'm still a bit moist actually. And coming across Patong Hill when it's raining is deadly serious.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you actually decided to go on the motorbike.
So I've had life and limb threatened today, and I'm here just because of you.
Yeah, you drove over a mountain in basically heavy rain on
Torrential rain.
On a gloomy
Let's build this up a
day.
bit.
Just for the viewers. Just for you. For the team. He took one for the team. Right. Yes, and today we have a lot of topics to talk about.
Yes.
But before we get started, we'd like to thank BYD Loft for hosting us and sponsoring the show. Have a look at this.
Yeah, it's a really nice place, and they've got 46 rooms here, and it's an SHA Plus hotel, and you can go to bydlofts.com and make a reservation on their already really competitive price. You get an extra 10% discount if you put in the Thaiger in the promotional code, and they'll even come and pick you up at the airport, which is really nice.
Right, and also we'd like to thank Coffee Culture for sponsoring our coffee today. Visit www.coffeeculture.asia to find your blend of Thai coffee all around from Thailand, shipped to your home in Thailand or also overseas.
I think you can still buy these lovely mugs too.
That's right. You can buy these limited edition mugs on their website, as well as coffee roasts that you like, whether it's Arabica, Arabica and Robusta, green beans, whatever you fancy. So visit www.coffeeculture.asia.
We should declare that we're sort of out in the open here, that we're in the sort of the breakfast and dining area at BYD Lofts.
Yes.
But it's completely open, so you hear cars passing and trucks, and yesterday...
Yes. As we had the lovely ambience
noise.
of construction noise yesterday.
Right.
All right, we will get on with the show. The first thing we're going to talk about is, let's just give the people a quick update on the floods and the situation in Thailand currently.
Well, we should remind people that about nearly 2 weeks ago, there was a tropical depression that came through, as happens this time of the year, and usually after they're travelling west and they come through the South China Sea. They cross over Vietnam through Laos. By the time they get to Thailand, they're starting to weaken. But this one has caused quite a lot of damage and flooding. It's already killed 8 people. 1 woman is still missing. And at the moment, out of the 77 provinces in Thailand, 32 have been affected by this flood to some degree. Now, all that water coming out of the mountains of northeast and northern Thailand comes through the central plains, eventually makes its way into the Chao Phraya and heads to Bangkok. And there is still some flooding expected in Ayutthaya, which is just north of Bangkok. But officials now say that Bangkok doesn't look like it's going to have any serious threat that's going to cause, places being, people being evacuated or anything. So probably good news on that front. But there are some areas in Thailand which are still under some pretty appalling conditions. Floodwaters in about 14 provinces is still a problem in parts of the north and northeast, but things are easing as we speak. So good luck to you if you are in one of those provinces at the moment. Hopefully all the help is getting to you from the Department of Mitigation.
Right.
That's what they call themselves.
Right. We're going to take a quick break and return in just a minute. Welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay and this is Tim. Now we have some important news and information updates. Facebook was down.
Oh my God, it was the end of the world. I couldn't get onto Facebook.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, Facebook, is like now basically a parent company that owns Instagram as well as WhatsApp. So it's a lot of communication that people were unable to do, as well as, social media that people can't live without.
And how could I share my photos of what I was eating for dinner?
Right. Oh well. Well, this started actually at 10:45 p.m. last night in
Thai time?
Thai time. That's
Okay.
correct. However, a lot of big losses have actually been registered for Facebook shareholders. Now, it has been estimated that this has had an impact on the global economy in upwards of 160 million US dollars.
It just shows you how dependent we've become on these social media Goliaths.
Yeah.
They are seriously powerful companies now. And they are private companies, but we've become so reliant on them. And we tend to demand so much of them. Like, where is our freedom of speech? Well, it's a private company. They can do what they like. Where is this? We are putting so much responsibility on them. And also, sometimes, the responsibility to be able to contact our friends. So with Facebook, they own Messenger.
Yes.
So was Messenger down as well?
I'm guessing, yes.
Well, I'm thinking that's all owned by the same company.
Yeah, well, I know that for sure that Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp were down, yes.
So do you think at the Facebook server, Possum got into the
No,
electric transformer?
Actually, I can explain to you what happened. But however, before I say that, the actual share price of Facebook also had a hit by almost 5%.
Wow.
But let me explain to you. I did some research and found out why this exactly happened. And not an IT expert. However, this happened with something called the Border Gateway Protocol. Now, what is the Border Gateway Protocol, you ask? For short, BG.
Jay, what's
yes.
the Border Gateway Protocol?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Tim. The BGP, as it's known with the cool kids, is the routing protocol to the internet. So just imagine like how a post office would be processing their mail.
Right.
They need to basically get the mail and then they need to send it to the right address.
Yes.
So think of it, the BGP, like that. So according to the internet security experts, today the directions for how to get the Facebook DNS servers addresses weren't available. And therefore, without being able to contact the DNS servers, visitors trying to reach these sites were basically left without an address. So when they type it in, it landed you on a page where page cannot be found.
So what you're saying is it wasn't working?
It wasn't working.
Okay.
That's literally what happened.
was.
You typed in Facebook, couldn't be found, servers were down. That's the explanation.
Now, on the good news, not only are the clouds clearing here in Patong, Phuket, but Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram are back in action. So the world is saved.
The world is saved. We can now live
Happily ever after.
Yes, in peace with our Facebook and tablets and phones. Anyways, moving on. Tim, you actually had some news on a magic pill?
Yeah, this is interesting. Now, of course, you just had a booster jab this morning.
That's correct. I had my AstraZeneca booster shot.
So you've had 2 Sinovac and now you've had a booster.
Yes.
And you're feeling okay?
As of right now, yes. I will update you
You don't look okay.
tomorrow. Do I not?
No.
I feel a bit,
You never look okay then.
No, I feel fine. I feel fine.
So this is a drug developed by the Merck company.
Okay.
Now, to put it into perspective, COVID now has killed about 4.8 million people who have died from coronavirus-related disease. 700,000 of them are from the US alone. So in Thailand today, just to put things into perspective, we've got over 3,000 people still in a serious condition in hospital, exactly 3,013, and 701 people are on ventilators. Now these numbers are a long way down from what they were, say, a month ago, but we're still in a situation where there's a lot of people suffering. So Merck have developed a COVID antiviral pill called Molnupiravir. So the idea is that you'll be able to take this antiviral drug and it would reduce your chances of hospitalisation and death. So it'll do much the same as what the vaccines have done, but it's not the magic pill. It's not going to get rid of COVID. Just a few details about it. Merck are seeking approval for the pill as soon as possible. They're in the middle of their phase 3 trials, which have shown it to be apparently very effective. If it approved, it'll be the first oral antiviral COVID-19 drug or tablet. Interestingly, and we've always got to talk about these things, on the basis of this information, the rallies for the shares have rallied for Merck shares, if you're into the stock market, of course. And other companies, there's 3 other companies whose names are Atia Pharmaceuticals, Pfizer, and Swiss drug maker Roche, who are also developing an antiviral pill. Their shares soared as well. But interestingly, Pfizer, who's developed one of the single dose? No, it's a double dose mRNA vaccines, their shares dived. So the idea being that people are going to be rushing to these tablets. And you think that taking a tablet is a lot easier than having to go to where you were and all those people and all those nurses and all the infrastructure to and the paperwork to generate the vaccines and to get them out into the community. Now, just as you told us all about how Facebook was blocked today, I can say that molnupiravir works by introducing errors into the genetic code of the virus, and that's sort of how it works, which doesn't really tell me very much. But they're in phase 3 trials. It appears to be working, and it's not quite the magic pill, but it's going to be just another part of the armoury of better treatments, vaccines that work, all which reduce your chances of hospitalisation or death. None of them are 100% effective, but it's just another part, another chink in the armour of the fight against coronavirus and COVID-19.
What's it called again?
Molnupiravir.
Molnupiravir.
It's an antiviral tablet.
Molnupiravir. Okay.
Let's hope it's the size of a horse tablet. Yeah.
Right. Okay, we're going to take another quick break, and after we come back from the break, we're going to talk about Thailand being open to everyone, but not the Brits. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay. This is Tim. Tim, you would like to thank the people who have actually come to visit us.
A lot of people have dropped in to say hello. We just had a young Australian couple who they're in Phuket for the Sandbox, and they're doing their quarantine, but of course they can go anywhere around the island they like, and they just dropped in. I don't know where they came from, but they took the trouble to come here and just said hi, thank you very much. And we've had other people that have been staying here who have come down to have a chat with us. Somebody was selling me snake oil yesterday, not quite sure what it was, but yeah, a lot of people dropping in to say hello, really appreciated. I'm still moist, by the way.
Because of the rain.
I haven't quite dried out from my travails across Patong Hill this morning.
Well, I'm just glad you made it.
It was a fight. I did it.
Did it for the
team.
I made it. For the team. For the team. Right.
So good news is that the Thai government has said everybody can come.
That's right. The Thai government has finally got its list of approved countries out, and now it is open to almost all the countries. Any tourist can come and visit Thailand.
Anybody. So they used to have the list of countries on like the orange list and the red list, but those lists are gone now. Anybody can come back.
Yes.
But there are still some countries which make it difficult to travel to Thailand because of the conditions when you return to those countries.
Yeah. Right, Tim, Thailand is actually still, a no-go country in places like UK and the US. Those countries still have basically Thailand on their red list, and they do advise their citizens that you should not be visiting Thailand because it has a high number of infections and low number of vaccinations. So, although
that's dropping.
That is dropping.
So we would assume that sometime maybe in the next month that Thailand might be removed from those red lists.
That's right.
But if you go back to the UK at the moment, you're going to have to do some sort of quarantine.
Yes, but
you can't even come from Australia though at the moment. So it's all very well saying come, but the government won't let you leave.
Yeah, that's right. And Thailand has also dropped its restrictions to specifically like places like Malaysia and Indonesia. You know, Malaysia was one of the largest markets where a lot of millions of people used to come and travel to Thailand just for a holiday. So they've opened themselves to that market and those people as well.
So in the immediate region, destination places that used to be quite popular visitations to Thailand. You got to say Singapore,
Yeah.
India,
Yeah.
Vietnam, Malaysia, well, China. That's still not going to be coming. This week's the Golden Week, which
Yes.
is usually the really busy week for the Chinese, but they're not coming this year. So that's a severe dent on any immediate recovery from the Chinese market.
That's right, Tim. In other positive news, the 7-day quarantine has actually been applied to other places that have been applied to the sandbox. So places like Krabi, Phang Samui, Koh Tao, you only have to quarantine for 7 days, just like Phuket sandbox.
So I'm thinking though, if you want to go to Krabi or to Phang Nga, you're
Yes.
going to have to arrive in Phuket
Well, Krabi,
and then get taken.
yes, Krabi has an international airport, but I guess it depends if the international flights are landing in Krabi airport.
Not at the moment.
You'll have to check that out and wait for it if you want a direct flight. However, Tim, you're right. Currently, if you would like to go to Phang Nga or Khao Lak or Krabi, you'd have to land in Phuket and then get a vehicle to transport you to those places.
Yes, your SHA Plus hotel would organise the transport for you.
That's right.
Phang Nga is about half an hour away, Khao Lak about 2 hours away, Krabi about 3 hours away from Phuket International Airport.
Right.
Not if you drive like I did this morning to Patong though, because I was driving very, very slowly.
So he says, right. Those are all the topics for today.
Okay.
Right.
Busy show. Lots to talk about.
Right, and those are all the top new stories on Thailand today. I'd like to thank Tim.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Tim. I'd like to thank Jason behind the buttons and Goff behind the scenes. And thank you to the viewers for watching our show today. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you for another episode tomorrow morning. Have a great day.